Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the fanciful school of Strixhaven. I am the representative of Silverquill, Vito, because I have the official Silverquill scarf. Look, it even has the tag still on it, because I'm a new boy in town and I'm ready to party.
I am the janitor. I clean up after all the messy children.
How you been, Billy? How you doing?
It's been a weekend. It's been a weekend.
It has been. This is episode 4 of our budding magic podcast.
A New Hope.
Yes, it is A New Hope. It's episode 4. And as in A New Hope, the prodigal son returns. I have been to the promised land. I have been to MagicCon Vegas. A lot of new and exciting. I'm taking the scarf off, by the way. I put it on for 2 seconds as a bit, and then I'm realizing, what am I gonna do
No,
with
you love that scarf.
I live in Los Angeles. What the fuck do I want a scarf for?
You
I got a whole
picked
story
Silverquill, huh?
I picked Silverquill. Well, here's the reason I picked Silverquill is black and white as a scarf goes with everything. The other scarves, Prismari was like, when are you going to wear a red and blue scarf? Maybe if you're going to a Patriots game or
or Spider-Man meetup.
Spider-Man premiere, sure. I got the Witherbloom scarf. It's black and green. It's ugly as hell. And what's the other school? I don't even know. There's black, green. There's blue, green. Yeah, wait, math kids. That one was ugly. They tried to give me blue, green. I'll tell the story right now. So I signed up for their Wizard Tower experience, and this is what I don't like about MagicCon is they got to understand your MagicCon attendees. If you play Magic the Gathering, you're kind of intelligent, right?
Yeah.
So you're immediately going to analyze whatever's going on and realize how it's being run incorrectly. So I show up, and for the Mage Tower experience, you had to pick one of 4 schools. Here's the first thing that's going incorrectly. The Mage Tower experience is like a free play thing. So like you get your deck, and then throughout the whole event, you can play 6 rounds or whatever and get points. And, you're just supposed to run around with your deck and play against the other schools. So already they fucked that up because on their thing, they're like, you signed up for that challenge. So that means for this 6-hour block, you can't play in any other events. And you're like, no, that thing is just run around, do whatever. It doesn't interfere. It literally does not interfere with any other event. And they're like, in our system, it says it runs during these times. So you can't do any events during those times. You're already signed up for the Mage Tower Challenge. So a bunch of people were already like, well, this is stupid. The whole point of it was to sign up and get the deck and just play whenever. But now I'm actually locked out of part of the con because your system fucked it up. Okay. Then I show up and they go, also, we're out of the Silverquill to pin. I was supposed to get a pin with the school on it. So they go, do you want a dog shit school or do you want the school you want, but you don't get a pin? And I'm like, I don't. Just give me the school. No, I said, give me black green or something. Then if you got black green, and they're like, absolutely, okay. So then they go to hand me black green. I start opening, and I go, why are these cards blue and green? And then I look closely, and I go, no, you gave me blue and green. And the guy goes, well, you already started opening the pack. And I'm like, I told you I wanted black and green. You gave me blue and green. I wasn't thinking that. The guy goes, okay, fine. And then he leaves, and he goes, oh, I didn't find a white and black, so none of this matters. Okay. I open the whole thing. I make my deck. The deck's broken, whatever else. And then I go, okay, so how does this work? Right? Because you got to earn prize tickets to spend on the prize wall.
Yeah.
And they go, well, each match you play, you get 500 points. I go, 500 points for winning? He goes, no, just for fucking around and playing. I go, well, what does the loser get? And he goes, 500 points. And I go, okay. And who do we report our matches to? He goes, oh, you don't. You just mark it off on this card that you played somebody. And that's when I go, all right, man. And then I just take a pen and I mark off my card and I go to the thing and I get my 3,000 tickets. And I'm like, listen, man, we're Magic players. Add a little structure to it. Add a little competitive aspect to it. If the only barrier to getting my prize tickets is me checking off pieces of paper on a piece of paper, just give me the prize tickets when you hand me all the shit. Just go, here's the 3,000 prize tickets and you have the option of playing the matches if you want to. But honestly, it's a waste of time and it doesn't matter. So that's kind of emblematic of a lot of MagicCon is it's not that well thought out. It's kind of all over at least the events side of things. And I ended up not playing in a lot of events because, I played in like a TMNT event. You open it. If you win, you get 1,000 tickets. If you lose, you get 600. And, one collector booster is like 4,000. So you're like, okay, I can spend 2 hours playing sealed to win 1 collector booster. What's the fucking point of that? And eventually I just ended up running around the hall buying cards I couldn't afford. I guess that's what they want, though. They're probably like, don't play the events. Just go buy shit. Just go spend money. That's the most important thing here.
I don't think I did any events. I did MagicCon 30, and I didn't do any events. I watched the first game nights live, which was pretty cool. That was cool to see. And then I just played a couple of games. Really, I found some creators and friends that I knew down there. Played some Commander, and that was about it. It was just hanging out and running around. And
yeah, I mean, I would like it to be a social experience. Like, it was cool the few times, at one point I'm just walking around and a lady dressed as Avacyn. God, I should have got her name, brought her up. But she was like, maybe I'll put her up if I edit this thing. She was like, hey, you want to come play Commander? And I'm like, yeah, I'll play Commander with Avacyn. And some douchebag who's playing that new warp Commander. And he goes, I warp in everything. I'm like, yeah, all right, fine. You win. Goddamn. But here's the problem with it being a casual thing is, man, it's a lot of money. So there's a part of you that goes like, hey, man, I spent a lot of money to be here. I feel like I need to get my money's worth. I need to run around, try to find bargains. I got to get these. At least that's for me. I spend the whole time being like, I got to get something to bring home. I can't even just taking an Uber there and back every day because at the LA Convention Center, theoretically, I could have got like maybe a hotel within walking distance, but I'm Ubering like $30 there and back every day. So I'm like, man, I gotta get some value. So I did run around. I got really lucky. The one thing I got lucky on, which probably helped pay for my trip, was my pulls were crazy.
Love that.
If you sign up for the weekend pass, you get 3 collector boosters. One of mine had the Japanese vampiric tutor, which was very nice. I entered the TMNT. I got the showcase super shredder. And then I'm at the prize wall. This was great. I'm like 200 tickets away. I saved my tickets. I had 200 left, and I'm on the way to a collector booster. So I'm running up to people and I'm going, sell me 200 tickets for the love of God. Otherwise, I have to buy Ether Drift packs. The guy's like, all right. 100 tickets is about $1. He's like, I'll sell you 200 tickets for $2. I got a Strixhaven collector pack. I got the foil English Force of Will. So I'm like, all right. Man, my polls all weekend were pretty nutty. And in the sealed for the Mage Tower, I got the Silver Scroll Dismember, which I'm shocked is not. It's only like $40. That card looks incredible. The Silver
I might
Scroll.
Pick that up for $40.
I was thinking about getting a play set. Honestly, I'm like, dude, this card is way too good to be hanging out at $40. I guess we're moving right into. I mean, obviously, I got pickups. You said you've got some pickups,
dude. I have a pickup.
Lead us off, Billy. What did you grab? Because I got a million things here. Let's
get this started off with a
bag.
I was having the FOMO.
No fucking way. Okay.
No,
dude.
Because here's the bad news, dude.
Oh no. Did you what?
I got it off Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
I paid the guy. Seemed like a good guy. I paid him with Venmo, friends and family. I went home. I was so happy. I was so excited. I had it for a couple days. Then I pulled it out, looked at the back, and it had this weird cut. And I was like,
"No, dude, are you?"
I went and I did my camera up to the T, the tiny T. It was a fuzzy T. It didn't have the ridges on the T test on the back. I got scammed. I called Venmo just because I was like, hey, I know I did the friends and family, but I kind of want to report it anyways. They suspended my Venmo account.
They suspended your Venmo account?
Yeah. I got double screwed.
No, bro. All right, hold on. How much did you pay for that?
I thought I was getting a deal. I knew it was going to go up in price, and it did. It went up in price after I bought it, right? I knew because they just announced it. I paid $900 for it. I thought I was getting this.
Thought you were getting a deal.
I was so excited. After I bought it, I was following it, and all the cheap ones started selling out on TCG Player.
You were like, I'm a genius. I'm a genius.
I was just in time.
Billy.
And I got bopped.
Well, I'm going to say this. At least you are providing a valuable service to our listeners. That's almost worth it is now we can educate people on how to not spend $900 on Facebook Marketplace.
The guy on Facebook, he's like had an account for 17 years, looked like a nice nerd guy, you know.
Was it a white guy? Was it a white nerdy guy?
Yeah, he was just a little nerdy guy, you know.
Yeah,
and he had AI had like a signal of all his history. Like he's a 5-star seller with over the years many positive sales.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, I can trust this guy. He's one of us. He's one of us. And then I messaged him. I messaged him this morning. I'm like, hey man, because in my head I'm like, maybe he didn't know it was fake. Right. I was like, hey man, you told me you got this from Mock's boarding house in Bellevue. Did you buy it from them directly? And he just blocked me. And I was like,
yeah, I would report that guy, Billy. I feel for you, which is why we have to build up this channel. So we got to make Billy his $900 back.
For real, dude. We're gonna have to. I didn't file the police report yet because I'm like,
well, I understand the what's gonna who cares, like how's it gonna.
Yeah.
You're in Washington. I don't know how good Washington is. I was about to say when I was living in Oakland, it's like somebody breaks in your car and the cops are like, "That's cute. Have a nice day." Yeah. But if he's known, and it's possible like he plays at like some of the game stores in the area, like the fact that he named the place he bought it from, you know, you might even try talking to them and being like, hey, I got a weird question. You know, this guy, is he a regular? You know, he sold me a fake card. Yeah, I'd follow up on it. Yeah, it might be the way to go. The thing to do always, if you're going to spend a lot of money on a card, do you have a little microscope guy?
I don't. Yeah, I looked at it. It looked so good. And then
it looks great. It's a great proxy.
Then I was looking at the back of the damn thing, and I could see like just a little bit of a weird cut on the edges. And I was like,
I was like, did you go, uh-oh? Did you go,
I was like, oh no. And then I put it next to a real one, and it was slightly lighter in color. And I was like, oh no.
And you gotta do, and it's very easy to do. Do you know the green dot test at all?
I know the green dot test. I know the T test. The small T has little ridges at the bottom.
What people look for now?
Well, the small T is what, like with my web camera, you could definitely see the difference between this. Because I just use my phone camera zoomed in, and
the phone cameras now can get you there as well. So
you could definitely see.
I do, and I probably should have done it with some of these cards I picked up at the show, but I guess I thought because I was buying them for vendors. Now I'm gonna have to go through and check. But if you look at the little green dot, there's always this little red pattern within it that you can look for. That it's very hard for the fakers to get.
Yeah.
But I mean, fake cards are out there, man. I feel bad. I'm sorry, dude. That sucks.
It's like the $900 loss is sucks. The fact that I really wanted this card and I was like so happy that I finally had it, and now it's a fake. That sucks. And then of course my Venmo account being shut down.
Well, I don't know why they shut your fucking Venmo down, man.
They suspended me because I guess I don't know, maybe the guy said something
claimed against you.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's fucking me. I don't know.
Well, man, I hope obviously it's a long shot, but if you got the guy's name, is he still on Facebook? Like you didn't deactivate his Facebook account?
He kicked me out of the marketplace conversation or ended it or whatever. But I have his Facebook pictures and name because I was like, just in case, you know?
Yeah, dude. I mean, if it's a real account and it's a real guy and he sold you a fake card, man, I would go to the cops and be like, hey, listen, here's the guy's name. And honestly, with a little bit of sleuthing, maybe after the show, we can try and figure it out. You can usually figure out, like, here's his address, here's where he works, here's where he's at.
He has work on his Facebook page, so
if you talk to the cops, they might just go over there and go, hey, listen, man, you sold the guy a fake card. Let's make it right. Let's not fuck around. I wouldn't give up complete hope. I will say you're an idiot and you need to get if you're gonna spend $900 on a card, Billy, come on. What are you doing?
I was like last minute, I had this FOMO of not being at MagicCon, and I was looking at Facebook Marketplace, and I was like, dude, that's a pretty good deal. That's a pretty good deal. And I was just excited. And
dude, I've had the exact same thing. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's always this idea where you go, well, this is a great deal. It's a deal just for me. If I don't jump on it right away, I'm going to get fucked. But that's exactly what those scammers know. And they jump on. I've told my scamming story on this story before. I was apartment hunting, and this was a great scam. They go, hey, listen, come show up at the apartment. I'll meet you there at 12 o'clock. I get there at 12 o'clock. Nobody's there. They go, listen, I'm running late. I'm across town. I'm stuck in traffic. Here's the code to get in. Just go in, take a look around the apartment. So I'm like, okay, it must be the landlord. They got the code. I press the code. I go in. Apartment's incredible for the price. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's got a ton of room. It's under the market. I'm like, this is great. I was so excited. I'm like, I'm going to be living here. I call him back. I go, this is exactly what I need. It's got the space I need. And the lady goes, well, that's great. But hey, listen, I got an old lady who wants that apartment. And she said she was going to wire me the deposit today, so if she wires me the deposit, I have to give it to her. If you wire me the deposit before her, I'm going to give you the apartment. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm running over to the bank parking lot. I'm like, I got to wire this lady. I don't remember, $1,500, $2,000 or something. And the only reason I stopped myself was because I had been looking on Craigslist to find an apartment. There was somebody going, hey, listen, there's some weird scammer out there that used to work for the company, and she has all the codes to all the apartments. And like, thankfully I had seen this thing that was like, so basically she had used to work for them. She knew all the codes to get into the buildings. So she'd be like, here's the code to get into the building. You look around, and she knew the apartments were listed. So it was a real listing, but the price was completely wrong, and she wasn't the one selling it. So I went to her and I was like, and the worst part is, even though I read that, I was still so excited that I wanted it to be real. So I called her back. I said, hey, listen, I just wanted to check. I saw this thing about scams and like wiring money, and that's not you, right? And she immediately hung up, and I went, okay, that was her. I'm a fucking idiot. Damn. But that's how they get you, dude. They dangle it. They get you all excited. They know what you want. I've learned, and that's why I've learned, especially with like Facebook Marketplace or anything else, if it's a really good deal, I go, it's probably fake. I always go into it. I go, it's probably fake. It's probably fake. It's probably fake. I'll ask some questions. I'll take a look. One good thing to look for. Did the guy have anything else that he was listing that he was trying to sell?
Not currently, but the AI said he'd had 20 listings, 14 successful with multiple 5-star ratings,
That's crazy. And so I don't know exactly how, and it's possible he was selling little stuff, and then
he had the card up last week too. And he dropped it down from 1,200 to 1,000. And I was like, hey man, would you take 900? I could
I know. Like, it sounds like you're getting a deal. Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I could do that. I met him and he was like, yeah, I just need the money. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I was like, well,
luckily $900 is not the end it's not the end of the world.
It's not.
It's an expensive fucking lesson. It sucks balls.
Losing my Venmo account right now has got me, because there's more money in there than I spent on the card.
Well, I assume you're going to get your Venmo account back. I assume, dude, I'm
hoping so. I'm over here, little Billy.
Freaking out. I don't think they're going to take all your money because somebody stole a Magic card from you. Do they have customer support you can talk to? I hope.
Well, it happened right after I talked to customer support. I was like, I was talking to customer support, and they're like, I was like, so when am I going to know about, like, are you going to follow up with this?
Like, help me out.
Like, oh, we won't be able to follow up with you since there's no dispute because you sent friends and family. And I was like, dumbass.
Is that what? But like, they can't keep oh my God, dude, what a fucking nightmare. I hate all these payment platforms. Yeah. All right, look, we're all rooting it out. If anyone in the audience knows how to get Venmo to give Billy his money, I assume they're not going to keep your money.
Well, they say it could take a week to process. So I'm right now. I'm just waiting. Hopefully, it all comes back. But I'm waiting right now. The anxiety of waiting, not knowing, is like, oh.
So I got to go in. Yeah,
not to derail.
From Billy lost all his money, and now what do? I show off all the cool stuff I got, Billy, and kind of
for real.
I didn't realize this was the set. Hey, Billy, look at all the cool shit I got. Hey, look at this fucking thing. Hey,
you got the wrap?
I'm 2 emeralds away. I traded. I actually met up. There's a bunch of whatnot guys who are at the show. One of them's a guy, Carsey. We made a trade, so he wanted that Japanese vampiric tutor. I threw in like a damnation and 2 fetch lands to get one of the chaos emeralds I'm missing.
Nice.
So now I'm 2 away. This guy was just under. This was the only real deal I found at the show. This guy's like 230, 250 right now. I just looked in the case. I'm trying to get the pixel cards slowly, and I was like, well, that's just a good price. So I was happy about that.
How many do you have now?
Of the I have Donatello. Now I have Raphael. I also have Bebop in April. So I'm missing most of them, but that's actually Raphael. This is probably the most, based on market prices, is probably the biggest one I have right now. I think he's like the third most expensive. Heroes and a Half Shell's the big one. And actually, I was not even planning this. I ended up picking up these guys were cheap, just the OG foils for my elf deck, the Heritage Druid and the Tree Speaker.
Nice.
Dude, these are and Tree Speaker, dude, whenever I play like a cube draft, people do not understand. This card is basically Soul Ring as an elf. Like you just level it up and dude,
you skip a turn.
Bomb. You skip a turn, but like he just starts tapping, and obviously Heritage Druid. These were cheap. These were like I think like Tree Speaker was like 11. Heritage Druid might have been a little more. And I was
you don't even really skip a turn because you level him up and he gives you the 2 back immediately. But you don't get that 2 bonus from Soul Ring the first turn.
Right.
And then you get it all next turn. And then if you pump mana into it, all your mana elves give 2 mana.
Dude, like, I don't think this has ever been. I don't think they reprint the level up creatures. There's a lot of level up creatures because it has a weird frame. So they can't, like, I guess they can't, get creative with the frame. They can't put it in like other frame treatments because they don't have it. So. But as far as the level up creatures go, I don't know. This card is just such an all-star for me. I always take it whenever
foil. That's a snag. Green. That's a beautiful, and both of those are great.
So one thing I did, and I spent a lot of time doing this because I haven't been to a MagicCon in forever, was I said I want to get a lot of signed cards because I don't have a lot of signed cards. I want to start tricking out a lot of my decks. The guys you got to get, and I'll give a little tip. If you're going to MagicCon, the ones that are going to fill up quickest, the lines is going to be the old school pros. So Dan Frazier's line was capped beginning of the day. Rebecca Gay's line's capped. It's always funny when you're like the artists that their lines aren't getting capped. You almost feel bad for them where they're like, I did 5 cards. And you're like, well, they did good cards. I'll come over. The other lines that fill up though are the ladies. There's 2 ladies. One of them is named Olena and the other one's named Alana, which makes them very easy to get confused. They both did Jeweled Lotus. And I said, man, if Jeweled Lotus ever gets unbanned, I want all my Jeweled Lotuses. So this was Lena Richards. First of all, she has this beautiful rainbow signature, which is very nice. Then I had the textured Lotus. I almost maybe should have I said, it's so fancy already. Just go basic with it. I think that's fine. I'm wondering if maybe I should have got the rainbow. But then, and dude, here's the thing you're going to learn. Some of these artists don't understand what their stuff is worth. And I'm almost going like, man, I want to like become like an artist manager. I'm like, you guys are giving away the farm. She goes, for $30, I'll customize a card. I'm like, $30 customized. Okay, you're gonna draw like a little thing on it for $30. I don't know how well this is showing up, but this is the Jeweled Lotus she drew. Oh my god, it's beautiful. I was almost in focus there for a second.
Yeah,
and I went, lady, this adds like the amount of value you're adding here. I mean, this is just beautiful. So then I was grabbing artist proofs. Dan Frazier was there, who we'll talk about. Had his talismans and his signets foils.
Those are so cool.
Dude, not only they're so cool, I want to say the market price for these is normally like for a foil talisman, I think is like $25-$30 for some of these.
Some of them are more.
Yeah, dude. Okay. The black blue talisman signed by Dan Frazier, who, as we'll talk about, is 80 and looks on the edge of death. I'm going, dude, how someday when, they're never going to reprint this retro frame talisman with the Dan Frazier art. I go, how is this not someday like $100 card? Honestly, I was digging through his binder. I had to stop myself at a certain point because I had a certain amount of money, but I was like, it feels stupid to not buy a grip of talismans and signets.
I should have sent you down there with $900.
Dude, I would have got you some stuff. I would have. I mean, I got my Liliana signed, Steve Argyle,
cool,
beautiful.
Yeah.
Dude, honestly, there's too much here. Dan Frazier, I went nuts because again, he's an old man. So I got all these Moxes and stuff. The Fire Covenant, he actually went in with yellow and like colored in the dragon to add some like some depth to it, which was sick.
I love that card.
I used to have 2 of these. They're up to $400 now. I wish I'd kept both of them.
Yeah, I got
more talismans, some chrome Moxes, beautiful stuff. Damn. But again, I think the coolest values I got at the con was like digging through people's artist proof binders and going, bro, how many of this card exists Okay, here's probably the coolest one I found was do you remember for a while secret layers they would come with an elf, like a random elf? Yeah. So and I was looking through this guy's artist proof binder and it was a secret layer artist proof elf $150 and I said, "Oh, that's pretty pricey. Maybe I can get a regular one on the show floor." And then I looked it up on TCG Player and they said, "That's a $250 card."
Yeah.
And I said, "That's a $250 card and he's selling it for $150 artist proof?" I said, "Hell yeah, let's get it." Because I guess this was like one of the rarest elves to get. And I actually had him go in and one thing I do on the artist proofs, they don't have the, what do you call it? They don't have the security seal. So I actually asked him, like, can you like doodle in on the security seal? He made a little like Eye of Providence or something. So yeah, that was cool, man. I got some cool stuff on the show floor. I can't show it all, but I had fun. I was able to do a couple trades. One kid, I was at like a vendor table. He goes, "Oh, anybody got that blue-red dragon? I can't get it anywhere. The full art dragon, you know." And everyone's like, "Ah, we don't got it." I said, "I think I pulled one of those." He's like, "Oh my God." I traded him for the new special guest Sylvan Library. I was like, I guess I think he got a better deal, but I think the Sylvan Library will hold value longer than the new dragon.
Was it Prismari?
Yeah, the Prismari dragon, the one that gives everything
foil?
storm. It was a full art foil. I looked it up. It was going for like 30, 35. Sylvan Library was going for like 30, 35. I realized now he was so desperate. I should have been like, I want that and that, you know, but I'm like,
gotta milk him.
It's like, yeah, I could have milked him, but it was the last day of the show. I said, whatever. Yeah. Have fun with it. So
it's a good trade.
I picked that up. I got a stupid scarf that I will never use. I got a play mat from the event. I got some stuff, and Billy lost $900, so we both had fun.
Man, and I love this card too. Like I've been wanting this for so long. I was like, I know it's going to go up after this weekend. They're announcing the new Marvel set. I'm going to grab it. But
I mean, I kept seeing them at the show and being like, "Oh, hey, I think they were like 1,200 at the show." Yeah, pretty consistently.
Yeah.
Again, you got the guy's name, you got some pictures. I would go to at the very least, you go to the cops, you go, "Hey, maybe we talk about this guy, see what they can do." It's possible, man. It's possible. Yeah. We're all rooting for you. And if not, guys, don't forget you can well, we don't have a Patreon yet. We'll have a Patreon eventually. And the first $900 of the Patreon will be the Get Billy a Soul Stone fund.
Don't get Thanos snapped is what I'm saying. Be careful, guys. All right, it was literally like a snap. I was so happy, and then I saw the back curve, and I was like, no.
That just means you got to go buy a Spider-Man collector box because now you got good karma. I mean,
I bought a couple of those, and they stunk.
Yeah, they didn't work out.
Nah.
Well, that was MagicCon, which had a lot of news, and we're talking about Dan Frazier, our good friend Dan Frazier, who we love.
We love Dan Frazier.
I mean, I hate to say it, it's probably the biggest, at least it's the biggest widespread Magic news, because I'm seeing places that don't know anything about Magic reporting on this story. Now, I posted this on my Twitter. This was me, of course, meeting Dan Frazier at the con, and him with his famous card, the delightful One Ring.
Is that
Dude, I got yelled at by a guy in line. I was like, part of me wants to get Dan Frazier to sign the One Ring. And this guy was like, would you really do that? Would you really do that to him? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, probably not, but like I joke about it. Get over it, man. He was like real mad I made the joke. For those of you who don't know, the new set coming out is The Hobbit, right? So they're going back to Lord of the Rings, because of course they're going back to Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings made them $1 billion. Here, I got a picture of the collector box, The Hobbit.
That's cool.
Billy, are you a big Lord of the Rings guy? I think we talked about it a little bit before.
Yeah, it was my papa used to read me The Hobbit when I was a little boy. You know, he was a big Lord of the Rings fan, and we went to see the movies together. We were in it to win it.
So on a scale
the Burger
of
King
like,
collector glasses.
Well, those are sick. I mean, everybody had. I had the Batman Forever glasses from McDonald's. Those was drinking out of that Two-Face glass my entire childhood.
I had a Two-Face glass.
I kind of want to get another one. The Two-Face glass, because the Two-Face glass was him flipping a coin, and the coin flip was the handle, the shadow of the coin flip, and you're like, that's so badass. Yeah. Not to get too off topic.
It's good stuff.
So we're all hyped for the Hobbit, and of course the Hobbit's gonna. I think this was obvious. We all knew this was gonna happen. We're getting a reprint of the One Ring, which was the big card out of Lord of the Rings. For those of you who don't play Magic for some reason, but are for some reason listening to a Magic podcast, this was the card that Post Malone paid what $3 million for. The one of one.
His one of one was 2.8 million because he wanted to pay the taxes and processing fees. So the guy that got it got 2 million. You know, he wanted to make sure he had 2 million in his pocket. So he paid
that's not bad. That's a nice thing to do.
Good guy, Posty.
So this is the One Ring as it will appear in the Hobbit set. Now, these are going to be box topper cards. If you buy a set boot, I believe they're probably only going to have set boot. No, they might. Yeah, they'll have play booster boxes. They don't have two different ones. So if you buy
the play boosters,
I think it's the box toppers are in the play booster boxes. This isn't like a box topper for the collector boosters, right?
Well, in the collector boosters, the stuff that was in the set booster packs at the time, the play booster packs at the time, those box toppers, they were opened up in the collector boosters with everything else. And I think the collector boosters is where you got the foil version.
That's where that's where you get the Surge versions. I think the foils would come in the box topper, and then the super Surge crazy ones would be inside the collector boosters. Point is, if you buy a box of Hobbit play boosters, you get 1 of 40 cards as your box topper card, and probably the one that, well, I don't know. The one that was going to be the one everyone was chasing was the One Ring, the famous card. And this is done by Dan Frazier, who we know is the artist of all the Moxes, a bunch of other cards. I mean, all the ones I just showed you, Chrome Mox, all the towels. Well, those are recent, but
did my favorite card, Berserk, from the alpha release Berserk. I love that Berserk art. He's my favorite card.
I wish I had more alpha cards or like to have him sign. I think I saw him signing Berserk. The guy has like the sword, right? There was one card. It was like a big old sword. Must have been from Antiquities. It was taking the red sharp and he was drawing blood dripping off it and shit. I'm like, that's badass. All I got is
cool
artifacts. You can't really do anything with them. So they showed this off the One Ring, and I got to be real. It looks bad. It looks bad for the way that you go, well, this is not Dan Frazier's art style.
It doesn't look like his art style or anything. Even the background that is his style is like it's way too close in than what he usually does, right? His is usually more fine detailed.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a shot of like the Moxes, but here's the other thing is like this is clearly digital art. Dan Frazier, here's a close-up of Chrome Mox. Like you can tell this is like I think it looks like colored pencil he uses. Colored pencil on a background. Okay. And then you look at the One Ring and you go, well, what's this, man? This just looks like some Photoshop trash.
Now this does not look like his.
It doesn't look like his, and people obviously agreed because as we found out, it's not his. Here's the thing. I was honestly confused at first. I shared this early on because I saw it on Reddit. Here was my tweet. I said, am I hired? Did Dan Frazier just take Martindale's One Ring art, flip it, and add a stock marble texture background? Because somebody had taken this and they said, hey, look at this little notch here. Kind of looks the same as this notch here. But even I was still suspending my disbelief because I said, well, that does look similar. I think maybe he took it and used it as reference. But like this one has like kind of a weird shape to it. It doesn't have like letters on it. So I thought maybe he did redraw it, just really use that one as heavy reference. But then somebody followed up and they said, no, dude, it's the same exact look. Yeah. Like the exact same little indentations, this little spludge here. The only thing that changed is it's a little like blurred out the elven text, so it actually looks worse than the original.
The elven text wasn't in the Hobbit. The Hobbit, they hadn't discovered that it had elven text on it.
That's
so
true.
It's like that would be really bad to leave the elven text on the Hobbit's ring.
And what's crazy is people were going, oh, that's crazy. He cut out his old art and he put it there. And I had to tell people, I'm like, no, he didn't draw this at all. This is somebody else. This is a different artist entirely. He took a different picture of the One Ring, cut it out, and put it on his. Now, I don't know if he thought this was like fan art and it wouldn't. Because here's the thing. We go, oh, that's obviously going to get found out in like a matter of hours. Like Magic people are going to go, hey, that's the same thing. I don't know if he thought. And as I was trying to say to you, it was interesting meeting him at the show, getting my card signed, because I go, this is an old man. And that's not to be an insult, but, he's moving a little bit slow. He's going, oh, hey, well, I can sign that for you. At one point, they were going, "Hey Dan, do you want a Chips Ahoy or a Nutter Butter?" They had little bags of cookies. He goes, what's a Chips Ahoy? And I had to explain to him what Chips Ahoy is, and he's like, "Oh, that sounds good." And I was like, all right, he's an old man. It's fine.
Let this man eat his cookies.
Let the man eat his cookies, indeed. So, here's the thing. He clearly stole the art, and he has admitted to it. I had people yelling at me. They're going, no, Wizards must have done this themselves and not told them they were doing it. I'm like, I don't think Wizards is that crazy, man. Wizards not so dumb that they're going to just, Photoshop a different One Ring onto another One Ring. And that ended up being correct, because they did end up issuing what is, frankly, let's be real, a PR bullshit statement to try and rectify the fact that this is hugely bad PR for a major set that is coming. Like, let's be clear. This is the card out of two cards they showed. They showed Smog, which is the headliner card. Yeah. But the big card to get you going, you got to buy play boosters. You got to keep buying boxes until you hit the One Ring. It's the One Ring. It's the most exciting card.
It's the iconic image from the books, from everything, the cards, and everything. It's the thing.
In the logo for the set. The set logo for the Hobbit. Look, it's got the ring and the O. It's the card.
It's the star of the Hobbit book. It's the star of the Lord of the Rings books. It's the star of the movies. It's the star of everything. The ring is the star.
And not only is it the star, this is like a $90, $100 card in the other versions. So when you tell somebody, "Hey, I want you to spend $300 on a booster box," they go, "I don't know if I want to spend $300. You go, "But you could open the $100 One Ring in foil." And they go, "Ooh, very exciting." Now you tell them, "Hey, you could open an old man stole some art from a lady, and then you just kind of pasted it on a background and it added a really shitty glow effect." And they go, "Oh, I don't want to buy that box at all. That's not exciting to me." So here was the statement from both Lord of the Rings and Dan. I'm going to read these. Recently, fans noted the similarities between similarities. It's the same fucking image. These similarities are not coincidental. There's so much PR bullshit in the statement. It's fantastic. From Dan, and it's like, you want to feel bad for Dan. I think we both have our theory about what happened. We'll talk about it in a second. He says, "I made a mistake. I feel awful. I especially feel for Marta, whose work I adore. And trying to create an iconic version of the One Ring while looking at references online, I ended up using her ring as reference and painted over it." Dan, you cut it out. And the reason I know you cut it out is that you forgot to cut out this part of the background. And also, you didn't do a very good job, because, man, it's not even...
good.
Dude, as a guy who uses Photoshop all the time, I'm like, Dan, if you just come to me, I could have used the clone stamp. I could have moved things around. It would have been way less obvious.
The AI option of Photoshop would have cut this out better and changed it enough that you wouldn't have noticed.
If you told AI, take this image of the ring and just remake it so it looks a little bit different, AI would have nailed it.
Remake it in the style of Dan Frazier.
Dude, I should have done that before the show. It would probably take 2 seconds. It would look great.
Right?
Okay, but he didn't even cut it out, dude. If you look at the curve, you're like, dude, you didn't even cut it out good. Let me go in there with the warp tool. Let me go in there and smudge it into place, Dan. As a Photoshop guy, it drives me nuts. I'm like, I gotta clean that up. It drives me nuts that nobody at Wizards, when he handed it in, Wizards should have said, "Hey, man, why don't you let one of our guys clean it up so it at least looks nice? It looks like shit."
According to Dan's manager, they had sent in a bunch of stuff, and he was getting frustrated with the amount of things he was getting turned away.
We're gonna talk about that. Let's finish this statement, and we're gonna talk about that. He goes, "In trying to depict the item fans hold dear to their hearts, I didn't make it my own. I'm apologizing to Marta privately, and I've let the artist community and my fans down." From Dan Frazier. Here's Wizards of the Coast. They say, "Dan's a titan of the art industry and Magic. He's created many iconic pieces of art. We're disappointed our review process didn't catch the issue." I do think, when I go between, you got an 80-year-old man and you got a company that has billions of dollars, that frankly your art department should be doing a better job, I do kind of go, I'm going to blame Dan, but I'm going to blame you guys as well. None of this was intentional. Yeah, we'll see. But we're going to make it as right as we can on digital versions of the card. We will credit both Dan Frazier and Marta. That's an important thing to mention. A lot of people are going, "Oh, well, it's a good thing they caught it before they printed it. What are you, retarded? This thing got All these boxes are already sitting in a warehouse. This stuff got printed 3 months ago. Okay.
Yeah.
They're saying online they're going to add and Marta Niel to the artist thing. And I guess if they reprint it, they might do that as well. But for now, it's just going to say Dan Frazier on it.
They'll reprint this art?
Dude, I mean, that's the thing. If they do a second run, are they going to replace the One Ring in the second? Because there will be a second run of The Hobbit. Like Lord
I
of
think
the
they'll
Rings,
have to.
Yeah, I think Lord of the Rings had like 3 or 4 reprintings based on the demand. I could see in the second printing, honestly, if they replace this card in the second or third printing, this could make the One Ring actually valuable if it's the one chance to get the Dan Frazier ring before they go, okay, we're not printing that again. It's a good moment to recognize we're all humans and make mistakes. Okay, Dan made a mistake. There's a lot of mistakes. Mistake. How do you mistakenly cut a fucking ring out in Photoshop? That feels like on purpose. That doesn't feel like a mistake. Honest, and that was part of the reason, dude. As I'm at the con, a bunch of us guys were lining up for Dan Frazier, and we're all looking around at each other. We go, this might be the last time this motherfucker's at a Magic convention. Like, he's in big trouble. They might be like, Dan, why don't you stay home? We don't need you. So, me and you have kind of a similar theory about what happened here with the One Ring. And again, it's based on this idea. What have you heard about what was going on behind the scenes?
So the Donata Giancola, is that the name? The person who had their artwork stolen for Trouble in Pairs. They've been very anti-Wizards art department recently. They came out immediately. It's like, what the fuck did Wizards do to Dan's work, right? And then in the comments, Dan's manager was in there, and he was like, I saw so many different versions of this that Dan kept getting like turned down. He was getting frustrated, and I never saw the final version. So I never saw this version from Dan.
Yeah.
And so people were thinking,
maybe Wizards threw this together without telling him, or just told him, hey, why don't you just let us do it and we'll put your name on it.
But then when Dan's statement came out, it read like, he was taking all ownership over this, and that made me think, and I think you had the same idea, that they kept asking him to redo it and he was getting pissed and just sent this sloppy Photoshop over them as a fuck you. Like, if is this what you want? Is this what you keep asking for? Is a slop? I'll give you a slop. He's like, I'm trying to give you something good. And then they get it. And instead of being like, oh yeah, this is slop, this is shit, fuck you, go with someone else. They're like, oh no, this is great. Let's run it. It's like, how do you run that one? How do you run that?
Well, here's the thing is, and I had previously seen a post from Dan Frazier. I forget if it was on his website or what. So, they came to him, this was a couple years ago, and they're like, hey, can you make talismans and signets for all the different tribes or whatever, the Ravnica guilds? And he did it, and they're all great. But he showed off a couple where he was like, here's what I wanted to do for Gruul. And they said, no, that's too weird, draw it like this. So there is like, and he's going, hey man, I'm Dan Frazier. Let me do what I fucking want. I made the moxes. What do you care if one of the signets it looks a little goofy in your fucking estimation, So what I think happened was Dan Frazier's a guy. He's got a very obvious style. It's an old school style. It's not perfect either. It's rough around the edges, man. It's like it's unique. And I think they said, can you draw the One Ring? And he probably draw it like the way Dan wants to draw it. It was probably a weird fucking ring, man. It's probably a little fucking out there. And somebody at Wizard said, no, it's got to be a big glowing gold motherfucker. It's got to glow like the fucking sun. And Dan's going, bro, I work in fucking colored pencils. I don't have access to these I don't use these digital tools where you just add a shitty glow layer and the thing, lights up. Like, if I want a thing to glow, I got to go in and I got to draw out the glow. It's a pain in the ass and it looks like shit half the time. And I think they kept saying, it's got to be bigger. It's got to be gold. It's got to be glowing, man. It's got to be kept sending it back. And I do think it's what you said. I think he finally just found. Now, I don't know if he knew it was already a Magic card or if he just thought, I'm just going to find a picture of the fucking ring, cut it out and just throw it on there because I just got to be done with this fucking thing. And he cut it out. He threw it on there. The ideal thing in my head is that he went, let me test these fuckers. Let me see how dumb these fuckers are. Cuts out the existing One Ring, throws on a card, adds what is frankly the most dog shit glow effect. It looks absolutely terrible. And he goes, is this what you want? And they go, Oh, that's perfect, Dan. You nailed it. You got it, dude. You knocked it out of the park, buddy. And he goes, okay. I wonder if he was waiting for them to come back.
Right?
I think he wanted their reaction to be like, all right, Dan, I know what you're doing. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You're right.
That's my thought.
We're asking too much. Go ahead, draw it in your style. I think he sent it in as a joke.
And then he didn't hear back from them. And he's like, they must have got my fuck you, or they must have went with someone else. But they were like, no, this is exactly what we want. That's my thought process. That's when I put the pieces together in my head. That's how I solve the puzzle. I could be wrong, but
well, here's the thing, because everybody goes, well, why would he risk his reputation, whatever else? He's not that dumb. And I go, yeah, I don't think he did. I think he sent it to them as kind of like hoping he would wake up the art director and be like, here you go. This is what you want, right? And they either go, all right, Dan, we'll find somebody else, or okay, we're being a little too overzealous. Draw it in your style, whatever. And it said the art director, who, let's be clear, I've been very critical of Wizards' art department and some of the choice they make. I think they got a bunch of dummies over there who don't know what good art looks like. And they go, yeah, look at that big glowing motherfucker ring. That's perfect. That's exactly what we want. And and he might have went, wait, no, don't print that. That was a joke. Oh, God.
He might have thought they took the fuck you and then went with someone else, if he never heard back from him. You never know. We're all speculating, but we have to speculate because they're not putting the pieces together for us. And you say that art department is shit. I think maybe they're overwhelmed. The workload's huge. They're trying to they're trying to do their job.
Don't know what they want. If you ask Dan Frazier for a ring, you should want a Dan Frazier ring. When he hands this in, you should go, hey, Dan, this ain't Dan Frazier. This is something else. Well, look at this. Never, dude, he uses these like marble backgrounds. He's never had awful digital glow pasted on top. He's never done that. I would have gone, no. Even if I was the art director, I would have said, Dan, no, do it in your style. I would have said, this is clearly not your style. I mean, this is, again, it looks digital, like going with colored pencil, draw a fucking ring. I don't know, man. It's a really
nothing about this looks serious to me. I don't think Dan seriously did this and was like, okay, this is the one, I'm sending it in, stealing it. I don't think his intent was to steal this of all work to send in for his. It's like, it doesn't add up. The math ain't mathing. This ain't Quandrix, man.
Yeah. Well, I gotta go, man. For an 81-year-old guy using Photoshop, I'm being critical, but I'm going, well, he did cut it out. He did an okay job. He tried his best. I'm like, maybe his nephew helped him out. I don't know. Most of
with the Fiverr, guys, he was like, hey, Fiverr, take this background and this ring and just make it a one ring.
Look, it's a really bizarre situation. It doesn't look good for anyone involved. But at the end of the day, I go, this is on Wizards, because if I got handed this from Dan Frazier and I'm the art director, I would go, especially if, as he said, he'd been handing in sketches of what he wanted to do. If this arrived, I would be going, well, hold on. Something's clearly happened here. This is a completely different style from what you normally do. There's a bunch of digital effects that I've never seen you use. Let's talk about what's going on. I know they're on a time crunch, but it does feel like micromanagement from Wizards got us here. Is that Dan said, listen, man, if you ask me to draw something, I'm going to draw it in my style. If you don't like my style, well, here's a fucking glowing thing.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what happened, but it's fucking hilarious that I got to read a PR statement about what a big mistake you made. I'm like, well, I don't know who made it. It feels like he did it on purpose, but you guys printed it as a mistake. I don't know.
It's all a mess. And, this Hobbit set's probably going to be a lot of fun. I was able to play test it early on a year and a half ago or so when it was getting started. Yeah,
right, tell us all the cards that are in the set. Let's break NDA.
I wish I remembered. I do know that it's got an interesting color pairing. It's probably breaking our NDA. It's not like the 5 allied 5 other things, which I
wonder have they shown any.
Probably getting arrested now for saying that.
There's not too many spoilers they've put out. Again, a couple more box toppers. Sauron's back. A new Tom Bombadil. I actually like this Tom Bombadil. I've been meaning to pick up a Tom Bombadil, and the poster foil's like $300, so maybe I'll get this one instead. This is Arcane Signet. in
Elvish,
Dwarvish. No, maybe that's Dwarvish. Yeah,
interesting.
And then a couple cards have been spoiled. I did see Arkenstone seem nice. This is a mythic artifact. 2 and a white, tutor for a legendary creature, and then 5 for a everybody gets +1/+1. Draw a card at the end of your step. Just a lot of value there for your white deck. Smog, flying haste. Whenever he attacks, deal damage equal to the number of treasures you control to any target. That's just fun. And at the beginning of your upkeep, create a treasure.
He loves his tokens. He loves his hoarding.
He loves his gold. His gold. Wood elves are back. Bilbo's here. Okay, here's the one thing though. I don't know if I like how Bilbo looks in the set. I don't. What do I got? I got like an.
Bilbo looks like a girl with a nice red dress on.
Wait, how come I can't see that ad on my screen, but it's popping up in the. That's so weird. It only pops up. Oh wow, just the way it like layers.
Manjaro.
You're
fat. Let's dance
on my screen, but it pops up when I transfer the layer.
So funny.
All right. That's so fucking weird.
Yeah, Bilbo Luckwearer.
Bilbo Luckwearer. I'm trying to just pull up the image here, and maybe this will help. No, it's still. Where's this fucking ad coming from?
Crazy, dude.
I have no. Oh wait. No. All right. There we go. Bilbo the Luckwearer. All right. I guess maybe it looks. I don't know. It looks weird. He looks like seeing a Hobbit with like a full man's like face. It's a little. I don't know. There's something. About it. The Hobbits. I mean, it was nice with like Frodo and stuff. It's like they kind of look like children, you know. I don't know. Exchange control of 2 target non-land permanents. Bilbo can't be blocked. I mean, this is uncommon. It's a nice little uncommon. I'm trying to see if there's any, but I guess we haven't gotten too many spoilers yet. There is the Smog headliner card, which actually, now that I've seen what Smog does, I'm going, well, shit, that is a really cool card. This is going to be the one I think will be serialized to 500.
You think it's going to be serialized?
I don't think it'll be serialized, but I think they've confirmed that it's limited to 500.
Oh,
but I don't know if they're actually going to serialize. They're really weird, dude. Lord of the Rings had all those serialized cards. It sold like crazy based on it. And I don't know if it's just the logistics of having 80 different printers that they don't want to do serialized stuff because it's too much of a pain in the ass, but feels like they're leaving money on the table.
Well, I think they don't want to go to the well on the serialized for everything because this is cool on its own. You don't need the number on it, right? And
yeah, but dude, serializing everything made those. That's why collector box. Maybe they don't want collector boxes at 1600, but that's why the holiday ones, where every poster had the 1 out of 100 serialized, like it went absolutely nuts.
Yeah, they had a lot of good stuff in those. Those were packed with value, and every variant of the uncommons and uncommons and that silver scroll with the foil, those are all sought after too. It was deep. It wasn't just the serialized numbers, as they were huge, but it wasn't just that.
One thing I'm not sure how I feel about is, and let's see if I can bring up these images. They're so low res. Have you seen the book treatment cards?
Yeah, they're interesting.
But here's what I don't like: legendary artifact J.R.R. Tolkien, and I go,
yeah.
Can't you say the Arkansas at the top? And I don't know.
It's what they did with the was it the Calamity Post in the OTJ?
Exactly. Yeah,
I didn't like that either.
It looks like the name of the card is J.R.R. Tolkien.
Yeah.
It's a little, I guess you just got to get over it, but I go, couldn't you just move the things to be in a certain order that doesn't happen?
Are we going to get this with like the Marvel cards now with like, they're just going to say Marvel across the top, or like the Amazing Spider-Man?
It probably will. Yeah. It's from a graphic design perspective. I go, just put them in order. I don't understand why they can't be in order. Why? Oh, wait, here's a couple more treatments. So again, you have your Smog the Magnificent. This will be a big card. This is a very powerful dragon at 4 mana, making a treasure every upkeep. This will probably be $100. This version will be like thousands of dollars, but even the regular version, like this showcase here, this will probably get like $80-$100 or something. I don't know.
Could be.
And I don't hate this dragon frame they've got here. What did you think about the scrolls frame from the special edition? I
liked them. I liked them a lot. Actually. Yeah.
I met someone at the con. They're like, I don't like those scrolls ones. I'm like, I don't know. Something about them I like. I actually hope. I don't know if they'll do special edition again, but I liked the scroll borders. I wouldn't mind seeing more of those.
I mean, they probably will. If this comes out in August, they have just enough time to push it for Christmas again, the holiday edition.
Dude, if they do another holiday, okay. And I guess we should talk about that is what do we do when a Hobbit collector box comes out and it's $800? Like, do we just go, I guess we just don't buy Magic cards anymore? Because that's what I'm worried about.
Buy singles.
Yeah. I mean, as excited as I want to get about the Hobbit, in the back of my mind, I'm going, I'm not going to be able to buy this at any sort of price. Maybe I'll be able to buy like one collector.
Yeah. Is it worth it though? Because like, if you don't hit, it's like, do you really? You could take that $800, wait 2 weeks after they come out,
and buy all just the get you want. Yeah,
almost everything you would want. You can't get the golden smog, right? Like but you were never going to open that anyways out of one box. This just wasn't. Odds were not in your favor.
We've had this even at the show. I mean, they give me 3 Strixhaven collector boosters, and part of me is going, "Don't open it, don't open it." There's no reason. Luckily, I hit the vampiric tutor and a couple other things. I'm like, okay, but there's always the chance you just skunk out and get absolutely nothing. And you feel like an idiot. And as I was saying to somebody at the show, I said, Final Fantasy was great for me. I bought a ton of Final Fantasy collector boxes. I pre-ordered them because the scalpers didn't know yet. Okay.
Yeah.
And then scalpers are dumb. Scalpers can only ever catch a wave. They can never anticipate a wave. So scalpers, they saw Final Fantasy went crazy. That's why they all bought Spider-Man, because they can only catch a wave. They said, well, surely Spider-Man I'll pay $800, $900 a box. And then they all got owned. But I think the scalpers, again, they know it's not like Lord of the Rings. When Lord of the Rings first came out, it was affordable because the special edition packs were like market price and shot up later. But now the scalpers are going, the Hobbit, the One Ring, the dragons. Like, this is going to be scalper's paradise for Hobbit. There's not going to be anything to go around for most of us. And I mean, it's one of those sets where I might just, I'm not going to get much. I'll buy a couple singles. I think there's going to be a lot of heartbreak around the Hobbit. I think people who want it are going to have a very hard time getting it.
Well, I mean, it's going to, the singles are going to be out there. It's going to be, the play boosters are probably going to be a lot of fun. I like the 4-player draft element.
Yeah,
I think it's good to bust down with some friends. You only need a few friends.
Is that what they're promoting? They're saying draft it with 4 people.
I think so. Well, I mean, when I tested it, we were doing the 4-player draft element, so I think it's going to come back to the 4-player draft element for the push. But
so there's a lot to enjoy. There's a lot to see. I mean, but I'm also hearing that it's like a small set. Is that correct? It makes no sense to me.
I mean, it makes a little sense. Lord of the Rings is like a huge, like 3 books, right?
And
this is just box. This is a smaller book, and it's a more humble book. And
somebody's pointing out, we can just look in the bottom left of the card. 229 is Smog. That's towards the end of the alphabet. 170, the Arkenstone. So it looks like maybe this is going to be 300 cards or so.
Okay.
Whereas Lord of the Rings now, and I don't know if it's going to be, I guess the other question is it going to have its own Commander subset? Because remember, Lord of the Rings had Lord of the Rings, but it also had Lord of the Rings Commander, which was like another 200 cards. I would think they're going to, I mean, I can't imagine Wizards leaving money on the table and not having a whole new Commander set. I don't know, though. I guess we're going to find out.
They have a bunch of Commanders coming out with the Marvel just a couple months before this, right?
Yeah.
So maybe they'll do like
just stretch thin. No, they have to do it. It's crazy, dude. They just reprinted the Lord of the Rings Commander decks. They did another fucking round of them just like 2 months ago.
Wow,
which created the prices the one I had. They're still printing Lord of the Rings. What is it, like 2-3 years later? Okay, so I think people are saying it's a small set. I can't imagine we're not going to get a Commander set to go with it, but I could be crazy. Again, there's just too much news to talk about. We have to talk about Billy. Me and you predicted the future,
right?
Me and you were. So for those of you listening to our last episode, me and Billy were going, we want the school shooting set for Strixhaven. We want
give us the bad school.
We want the bad school. And then Wizards said, okay. And I got a million ads on this page, of course, with Reality Fracture, which is going to be, in a way, it's kind of your Time Spiral Planar Chaos, of taking a lot of like classic stuff and flipping it around. So here we have Stingcaster Mage was one of the first spoilers we saw. This is like a red variant on Snapcaster Mage. It's a 2-1 haste instead of a 2-1 flash, which I'd say is obviously worse in most cases than Snapcaster Mage. But if you're running a red burn deck, fantastic. It has one very specific purpose, which is to be in a red burn deck and replay your Lightning Bolt.
Yep, which is all you need.
Which is all you need.
Haste. It's haste, so he does 2 damage. Bolt the blocker, get 2 in, and then bolt to the face. Whatever you're doing.
If this is not good. Powerful enough for modern, I will be sad. Maybe Red Burn's coming back in a big way. Right. I got what did I get signed at the show? I got my playset of Monastery Retro Swift Spear signed. Ooh. So hopefully Burn's coming back. We're gonna hope. Also from Reality Fracture, we are getting the evil Strixhaven school called Hexhaven, where all the bad kids are killing each other.
They're selling drugs.
Yeah, exactly. Look, they got a big old lady, the Bloodline Recollector. She has Ancestral Craving, Billy, which is target player draws 3 cards and loses 3 life. You can kill someone with actually. I was playing a draft recently against Archmage of Emeritus or whatever, the blue one. Yeah. And I'm like, I got this locked up. And the guy goes, you draw 3 cards. And I went, oh, fuck, I forgot ancestral targets. He's going to mill me out. And he almost did it. I managed to stop him at the last
This
moment.
Is cool, too, because this is a target player draws 3 cards and loses 3 life.
Right.
So you can bolt the opponent with this and hit them with 3 life. It's
for
great.
1 mana, I mean, lose 3 life. If it's towards the end of the game, and if 3 or more creatures died this turn, I mean, that's a lot of the first time you play it, target yourself. You know, Black Burn has been a thing. What's the there's the one card that like drains them for 3. I forget what it's called. Like they lose 3
Soul
life.
Siphon or something.
Yeah, Soul Siphon. This could very easily make a kind of Black Burn. Bump in the Night was a big one. That's the one where the opponent loses 3 life, and then you can flash it back.
For 5 in a red, I think. So it was black red. Because this is an Rakdos build. This gives you that gas for a Rakdos burn deck.
Dude, I think this card is exciting. The interesting thing, and I think this is confirmed, is so we're getting a reprint of Chandra, Torch of Defiance, coming back to Standard. She was a fun Planeswalker. It's fun to have her back. And again, it's the idea it's an alternate universe. You're getting Chandra, Chill of Compliance to go with it. And what I heard was these cards will always be in the same pack. So if you get one, you're always going to get the alternate version of it back to back. So if you're doing a draft, you got to decide, shit, which fucking balls ass Planeswalker do I want to take with me? And again, this might be Wizards pushing that pick 2 draft.
Unless it's pick 2 again.
Pick 2, then you get both of them.
Yeah, they're going to be in the same pack, huh?
That's what I heard. I don't know if that's like 100% confirmed.
That's wild.
But that's pretty cool. You open a pack and you get 2 Chandras. You're like, all right, let's go wild with it. A new Chandra, again with 4 abilities. Surveil 1. If you put a non-creature, non-land card in your graveyard this way, put that card into your hand. So basically, instants and sorceries and artifacts and everything you grab, great.
Blue loves those.
Yeah, I'm surprised it doesn't say non-permanent card. So I wonder. Well, I guess they want you to be able to artifacts. Yeah. And enchantments. Add blue, spend this mana only to cast a non-creature spell. That's just fun. Dude, 1 blue for a blue ramper? That's fucking interesting. Tap an artifact or creature, put X stun counters on it. And remember, you can do that for 0 if you just want to tap something for that turn. And you get an emblem with whenever you cast a spell, draw a card. That seems like a lot of fun.
For a 3-mana Planeswalker with 4 abilities? That's solid.
Wild. We've never seen that before, huh?
I don't know if that happens at 3. That's 4 abilities is a lot.
That's a lot of versatility. Now I'm trying to find if there's more details on, again, the School Shooter School. Here's the School Shooter School of Hexhaven, which, I mean, this is great. So we just got a bunch of the enemy color pairs. Now we're getting all the ally color pairs out of Hexhaven.
So I imagine they'll reprint the lands from Strixhaven in allied colors in reality.
What are the lands in Strixhaven?
So they're the ones that came out originally in the Innistrad Crimson Vow set. they come into play untapped.
Two or less?
If you have two or more lands, they come into play untapped.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so we'll see those come back. We're getting a mono base. So our 5 schools are Fatehold, the School of Future History. Theorix, the School of Esoteric Mathematics. I don't know what that's about. Stinger Quill, this is my school. School of Painful Words.
Let's go.
Fuck you, buddy.
We're Stinger Quill for sure. Talk our shit.
Although I will say there's one more. Constrari, School of Constructive Arts. I do like this one. Vigor Bloom, School of Invasive Healing. I'm like, ooh, what's that about? That kind of sounds up my alley.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I don't think that Reality Fracture is going to be straight up Strixhaven evil, right? I think they're going to have the Strixhaven in it
kind of school. Yeah.
And then if you look at the Strixhaven lands, the full art lands, they have these like little portals in each one. And I guess the portal shows into these worlds, right? Like, it's like a glimpse.
I did notice that.
So they'll probably have those versions in here. These schools, will these schools be led by the Tarkir dragons? Because we went to Dragons of Tarkir.
Yeah. So that's what's going to be interesting is, well, the schools from Strixhaven are specifically named after the dragons. Like Prismari is named after a dragon named Prismari.
Those are the last names. So is Fatehold the last name of Ojutai? Ojutai Fatehold. And are we going to get Ojutai Fatehold now?
Maybe you're right. Maybe we'll see them. Or this could be a new set of 5 dragons.
Are we going to get a Tarka Constrari? Like the names work.
Wait,
the names work.
What's the white green one? It's
oh yeah.
Hold on, white green dragon Tarkir. I like that guy. He's
he's good. He shuts off your opponents, right? I can't.
Why is it showing me all the other ones? Yeah, Slumgar. Oh my god, it's showing. No, Dromaka, right?
Yeah, Dromaka Vigor Bloom. That's a name,
Dromaka Vigor Bloom. Yeah. All right. Dromaka's command. Yeah.
Because like
Dromaka the Resolute Elder Dragon.
Because then that doesn't just tie us into Strixhaven. That ties the Dragons of Tarkir, and we just went back to Tarkir not too long ago. So pulling that in pulls it in on a whole different level.
Why were these dragons not in Tarkir? Did they kill them all or something? Or did they disappear?
I thought
they were dead or something.
I think they were dead, yeah, but this is the whole thing with going on. The whole thing with Reality Fracture is Jace is reshaping the universe in his ideal, right?
Yeah. Why is he? See, I don't follow the Magic lore, so I don't know anything about Jace other than he was a pirate for 2 seconds. You remember that when he was like hanging out on the deck during like Ixalan? He's like, "Now I'm Jace, cunning castaway," and I'm like, What does this fucker do? He just runs around and does whatever he feels like at any time. So now he's changing reality. He's resculpting it to make it his world. Oh, we also saw here's a white. It looks like a white Liliana, which is cool. I don't know. I don't think they've shown a card for her yet, but obviously the art is exciting.
They had like
What's up, Vegas? Okay, so this is Hobbit stuff. Where's the Reality Fracture stuff? So yeah, they showed the Chandra.
Yeah, they have the head-to-heads with the different planeswalkers.
Well, Garrick is back, which is exciting. So Garrick's been dead, I know. Here we got can I full screen this? It looks like Garrick wearing a Johnny's like colors or something, like white green. I don't know, but he's already green. I don't know what colors they have him here.
Garrick was green and black last time we saw him. What if he's white and blue now? What if they're multicoloring him? It doesn't. It
says Garrick Vexed Butcher and Garrick Cursebreaker. So you're gonna get a green Garrick or maybe green black. So you'll have the classic Garrick colors. And I guess the alternate would be, I don't know, maybe red or something. Oh, dude, a red Garrick could be a good time.
I think a Johnny might be red based off the art. There's a lot of questions. We need answers.
Was that a white Jace?
It looks like white Jace. How many white characters are we gonna get?
Is everybody just white blue now? It just looks white blue. I mean, it's a cool look for him, I guess. I don't got a problem with it. Look. As much as obvious as it is whenever they do this, what if it was the guys, but they're evil or an alternate version of them? I hate to say it. I always think that's cool, so I'm into it.
Well, it's a different reality, so like they can play around.
Yeah, it looks like we got a white Vrask as well. I guess everyone's just white blue in the new set. We just made
Jason
white
Jason's like, I'm going to heal the world and make everyone white.
Everyone's white. Jace, hold on a second. Hold on 1 second. No, just all white. Everyone's white.
What are you doing? Why are you whitewashing the Planeswalkers, Jace?
Here's a little look at Hexhaven from the video.
Reality Fracture is literally Jace saying, you've done this to Aragorn. You've done this to April. I'm making all the Planeswalkers white.
Imagine if Wizards does Reality Fracture Lord of the Rings, and they go, and there's a white Aragorn and a white Arwen. And then you go, oh, okay, now we're getting a little into it.
Stop.
Now, okay, here's a look at some of the schools. This must be your white-blue school. So again, yeah, it doesn't look totally evil. This would be your well, this looks like black-green. I don't know what if this is. I don't know what color.
Would have to be green, red, or green, white, right?
Well, this has got to be your white-green. This has got to be.
That's white-green, definitely. Yeah,
that's your invasive healer. Spooky no face man. I got it. Okay, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm crazy, but I'm already liking this art more than Strixhaven, where I'm going.
Well, this is exactly what you asked for last.
This is exactly what I wanted. It looks like fucking Magic the Gathering. The kids aren't all hugging and crying and whatever. It's like, yeah, right. Everybody's having a good time.
We had Harry Potter. Now we get our Degrassi.
Yeah, well, good. I want Degrassi. And here we got. Okay, so you got on the left. You got all the originals. So there's Liliana, Johnny, Chandra, Vaska, Garrick. Dude, this Garrick looks like fucked up. He's got like a fucking death mask. He's got a purple
He's still cursed, right? Because he's got the Liliana curse stuff on his thing.
This has got to be black Garrick.
Got to be black,
it's just full black Garrick. Yeah, because he's got Liliana cursed axe. This is black Garrick.
Yeah. What's
Chandra,
Vraska? Vraska looks white.
I think they're going to be monocolor. So we have black. We know Chandra's blue. Johnny's clearly red because look, he's like on fire. So the only thing left is green and white. So I guess Liliana in green and then Vraska in white would make sense.
But isn't Vraska? Well, because
Vraska's normally green black. So making her white. Yeah, we've never had a white Vraska.
Liliana does not look green at all, right?
I know she doesn't look green at all, but they can't make both of them white, and they can't make Vraska green. So it makes sense to me that she would have. She can be green. She can be from the invasive healing school.
That's true, and also
she's the head of invasive healing. White green Chandra.
That's true.
Sorry, Liliana.
Liliana. She was all about resurrection, and if you take the resurrection out of her, then that becomes the white part of the school because the Wither Bloom was all about the raising the dead and shit. So they take the death part out of her.
Yeah, maybe? I think we're getting 5 mono planeswalkers.
I would assume.
I think it's going to be black. What did I say? White, blue, red, green. I think we're getting a green Liliana. That's my prediction.
There's no green in that art, though. That's wild.
It's just because she's a green creature, she doesn't have to wear green. She doesn't have to wear.
Every other one of them has like hints, right?
Garrick not necessarily green. Garrick's purple. He ain't black. He's purple.
Okay,
whatever.
Look.
If we get a green
what is
Liliana,
this? What is the kissing? What is
the kissing? We're back to what I hate about Magic.
Well, that's Vision.
All the fucking kissing. It's the Vision and Scarlet.
Paul Bettany was there. Paul Bettany was at MagicCon.
I was like kind of surprised that we got an actual Magic or an actual Marvel celebrity to show up and go. Because they were promoting a lot of Vision stuff. Because obviously Vision is the Mind Stone. Yeah. And I guess that's what we're going to talk about. We do have Vision Synthesoid. Oh my God, that's the. Wait, what is MS? Okay, so the Marvel set logo is the M, like comic book. The commander symbol is a bigger symbol that looks like more of a comic book.
It's the M with the comic book page. This card is cracked, though. Oh my God.
Whenever a player, 4 cost 3/3, Vision Synthesoid Avenger. Flying, whenever a player casts a spell, if it isn't that player's turn, choose 1. But a +1. Wait, whenever a player casts a spell, outside of their turn.
Yeah.
Either put a +1/+1 on it, or you can't touch my guy. So basically, he's like completely impervious to removal on your own turn.
So, on your turn, like
on your turn, they can't touch it because you just phase them out if they try to do anything. They can only kill it on their turn.
But even on their turn, you're like, okay, I'm gonna brainstorm. You know?
Yeah.
Play a cheap ass instant spell on their turn, save him.
Yeah. Oh, he's super easy to save. Oh, that's pretty good. I mean, he does cost 4, but he's gonna get big pretty quick.
Yeah.
Let's see. See, they're just showing off vision cards. This is going to be the vision in the main set, not mythic. He's a regular rare. I guess his mythic is maybe he will get a mythic as well. Legendary artifact creature, robot hero, cost 4 for a 2/5. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. Either give him double strike, not that exciting on a 2/5, although he does fly. Indestructible. This card is not that exciting. Well, draw a card.
It's okay.
That's the one. Yeah, drawing a card every time you non-creature, fine.
Yeah,
giving a 2/5 double strike is not the most exciting thing, but
I mean, if that non-creature spell that you cast is giant growth,
sure, yeah, there's ways to make it work. It's not bad. It's not getting me too hard in the pants. And then here came Paul. I didn't even get to hear what he said. Let's see. Did he say anything exciting? Let's listen in. Oh wait, I got no audio. Here we go.
Talking about me behind my back.
Oh, what were they saying about it?
Can't wait to get my hands on it. Mark, you've been with us on stage for a while. I'm getting a little bored of you, to be honest. I think I want to hear someone else's vision, if possible.
Classic Marvel.
Somebody talking about a vision?
Magic stage humor.
You talking about me behind my back?
That was a bad setup, I gotta say, Billy.
Yeah. I want to hear someone else's vision.
I want to hear someone else's vision.
Were you asking for me to come up here?
All
Is that what's going on?
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Bettany.
Who's the guy who's talking right now? He's
Jimmy Wong.
Jimmy Wong
from Game Nights. Old school YouTuber. He used to he's old school YouTube.
Some of these guys got to stay YouTubers, man. Some of these guys got to realize, listen, man, putting on a stage performance, you got to go a little big. Well, maybe I need a vision. Get me up there.
Welcome to MagicCon.
Jimmy Wong needs better writers. Jimmy Wong's a fucking saint.
They could have gotten better writers because
that's a deep ass crowd.
Yeah, it was pretty big.
And hello, Las Vegas. I always wanted to say that.
Paul, wow, it's such an honor to have you on stage here. Who's excited? This is
I dropped the fucking card.
Dream come true for me. I'm just dropping things left and right here. Now, Paul, you've had more than 30 years in the craft. How near and dear to your heart is vision? It's a relatively new part of your persona.
Vision has become really dear to my heart.
All right, this is fucking weird. What did they bring him up there? Is this where they talk about the Mind Stone or something?
I think, yeah, they debut.
Wow, look at that.
It's a little weird.
I happen to have it right here.
What? You just carrying it around on you?
Yeah, and I got to say, this is a little triggering for me because...
How so?
I don't know if you remember the last time I saw this stone. It's hard for me to...
Jimmy, stop stepping on his bit.
Vito,
Let the man do his bit.
Vito, how fantasy... You know how fantasy has a suspension of disbelief, right? You have to put yourself in the you have to put yourself in the cringe, okay? You have
Jimmy is stepping all over Paul Bettany where he goes, well, I don't know if you remember. This is a little triggering for me. Oh, how so, Paul? Gee whiz, Paul. Just let him. Jimmy, just let him do the bit. He's gonna do a little bit about how
Jimmy's Jimmy, and that's Jimmy's.
He's going. What do you mean? What are you talking about
here? It's a little triggering for me. Because,
listen.
How so?
How so? I don't know if you remember the last time I saw this stone. It's hard for me to believe the cruelty involved in having me place the Mind Stone in the gauntlet.
That's a good point.
I mean, not even Thanos made me do that.
He's got a point. Thanos put it in himself.
But here we go, I guess.
Just yes and him, Jimmy. You got this.
Here it is.
Wahoo!
There it is.
Incredible.
They could have cued the card. They could have cued the card right when he put it in.
All right. Well, here's the card you'll be spending $900 on very soon, Billy, on the fucking internet.
If I was gonna get a proxy, I could have got the fucking. I could have got that proxy.
Real quick. So this is the Mind Stone. This is the next in the line of stones. And what this card has taught me is that the average Magic player is stupid, because I saw so many people going, "Oh, that card's not even that good. It's not that good."
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
like,
they're
are
crazy.
you guys morons? It's 1 and a white for an indestructible mono-rock. It doesn't need any other piece of text, and it would already be good.
Yep.
Okay. It has the ability to harness it, and when you harness it, it's just you just pay the cost, and then it's harnessed. Yeah.
Once it's harnessed, you get that ability whenever it triggers infinitely every turn. At the beginning of your end step,
did you have to sacrifice something to harness?
You did. You sacrificed.
Yeah, there you go. Just read us the actual card that we have.
You got to exile a creature you control to harness
this one.
The
you
soul
just
stone.
pay mana, so you don't have to do anything to harness it. Which actually is a little. I kind of would have liked if they all had their own unique harness trigger. I mean, but okay.
But in the lore, you couldn't just get the soul stone. Remember, in the lore, you had to make a sacrifice.
Scarlett Johansson off a cliff,
right?
I remember.
You had to kill the Guardians of the Galaxy girl. You had to. So that's why this makes sense. Everybody who was like theory crafting what these were going to be, they were putting these extra costs in, and I was like, I don't know if we're going to need them. This one specifically had a lore reason to put the extra cost in.
I mean, thankfully,
the soul stone,
like, sacrifice the vision or something to harness.
Yeah, right.
Grab it, you know.
pull the life force out of your lover.
So its ability is 6 cost and tap, and so you do that turn 7, assumedly, and then you get at the beginning of your end step, exile something you control, then bring it back to the battlefield.
A non-permanent,
who have not played Blink decks with covenants of play abilities, with leave the battlefield abilities, do not understand how easy it is to abuse those. I have multiple decks where I love. That's one of my favorite things to do, is to abuse comes into play abilities. One of the classic cards for doing that is Thassa Deep Dweller, I think is the one.
Yeah.
Thassa Deep Dwelling. This card is one of my absolute favorite cards in blue. Again, it's just a god. 3 and a blue comes out at the beginning of your end step, exile something, bring it back. It is so easy to abuse. So I saw this card and I'm like, now this is awesome. I'm excited. I think the art is fucking weird. It's the Vision's yellow gloved hands. He's in some sort of MC Escher fucking universe. Not as cool as the Soul Stone. The Soul Stone I thought looked cooler. But I mean, I just need this for at least a couple different decks.
Oh, this is a good card.
Or insane. Yeah, dude, this
like you said.
Oh, it's not good. I'm like, it's a mono rock. It's a 2-mana mono rock.
Exactly. Just 2 mana, add a white mana. It's got value on turn 2 and beyond. Turn 2, you go into turn 4 on turn 3, right? It skips you a turn ahead with mana. That's worth, and especially in these colors that aren't green, black.
Yeah.
White.
White
huge.
What was White's? I mean, like, dude, the diamond cycles we used to have to settle for. It used to come into play tapped as a 2-drop mana rock. You're like, this is great. Put it in my commander deck. It's ramped. This is coming to play untapped.
Yep.
And indestructible. So when they blow up all artifacts, you still have it.
The indestructible is huge. Like the attacking that on is just like, you're gonna play these. There's no reason not to. And then when late game, you can just flicker stuff. It gives you this huge game changing ability from just being like your groceries, right? Your necessities, mana, you need it. You turn in something you need early game into something that you would love to have late game. It hits both sides of the game. It's good.
It's a very solid card. I want one. And I'm interested to see Marvel's coming out like pretty soon. Like Marvel superheroes.
End of June.
Is it that? Dude, we're like almost there already. We'll release June 26th. 4 commander decks along with a standard legal set. I don't know where we're going to end up with Marvel. Spider-Man, here's the thing. When Spider-Man was first coming out, I think people were not, it's not like people were like, hey, I hate Spider-Man. I'm never going to buy any Spider-Man cards. I think people were like, yeah, I'll probably pick some up. Then the set came out and the set just sucked. So everybody went, oh, well, then I guess I'm not buying a bunch of it. If Marvel is a solid set, I don't know. I don't know how popular it's going to be. Like, it's going to be interesting to see how it lands with the fans. We do have some spoilers that they've shown us so far. I mean, see how.
There's something you have to remember too. The summer release sets, usually pop off more than the other sets. The last time a set came out during this time period and it didn't do well, I believe was the Commander Masters Battle for Baldur's Gate. And then that became like...
That ended up going huge.
Yeah.
I mean, I was surprised. Well, because when I saw that set coming out, I said, oh, all the mythics are these big, stupid dragons with no protection. I'm like, this ain't going to do what? And then it turns out people just love huge, stupid dragons with big, powerful abilities. Like, all those dragons ended up being a huge deal.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was playing Commander, and a guy played an Ancient Copper Dragon. I said, one of us must surely be playing removal, right? And we're like, I'm not playing removal. I got to play my own stuff.
If I'm playing one of those dragons, I'm trying to give that dragon haste 100% of the time. You know, I want to use that thing.
Now, I don't know. We got Captain America Sentry. When the Sentry enters, target opponent gets the Void, a legendary 5/5 horror villain within. So wait, you get a flying village and indestructible, and they also go in? That's pretty cool in a Commander game. I don't think you want to play that standard, but
this is the thing why it might work in standard. This Void attacks each combat if able.
Right.
So
well,
your
it's
Sentry
to attack into your,
but your Sentry's vigilant. His isn't. So
you can
keep
just blocking the Void.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's pretty interesting, actually. I like that a lot. Bruce Banner turning into the Hulk. I know people. Did you see when this card got spoiled, everybody started buying up caltrops, and I went, guys, that combo's not that good.
Yeah, but it's fun.
It's fun. Whenever he's dealt damage, put a +1/+1 on him, and he can attack again. You're like, ooh, caltrops deals a damage to him when he's attacking. I'm like, okay, I don't think that means caltrops should be a $20 card.
That means he's infinite. He's attacking for infinite at that point. It's infinite attacks.
It's infinite attacks if you can't have any way to stop him. But yeah, sure. I think
you flip that Hulk on the other side, that front side of that Hulk. I swear this is a CDH build right here. Draw X cards activate only as a sorcery, but if you play this turn 1, turn 2, you get an infinite mana combo. You have turn 1. Bruce Banner has all like the deflecting SWAT protection and everything that you would have in these 3 colors. And then turn 2, go infinite mana, draw your deck Thassa's Oracle. Like the win cons in the main slot, right?
You're right. I mean, he's right there with a draw X on him, which not as many. You're right. You get access to all 3 colors, so you can be your blue, green, red build, Temur action. I mean, I haven't seen anything here. Okay, the one card that I've talked about is I hope this card brings Merfolk back in a big way. I think I need a play set of Namor the Submariner. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell with blue in its mana cost, you get that many Merfolk creature tokens. Cast a counter spell, get 2 1/1 Merfolks. I'm excited for that. A weird thing that I saw, did you see that they have like 8 versions of Heroic Intervention for some reason?
Yeah, a lot. Are they finally going to turn this into a $2 card? What's going on here?
Yeah, that I was like kind of annoyed at. I'm like, guys, I understand that they're heroes and they're intervening, but surely there's other cards you could have had than just have 3 versions of Heroic Intervention. I don't completely understand that at all. But okay. What else are we getting? Horn of Greed. That's pretty cute. I don't use the magic. I'm pretty okay with that. That's one of those jokes that I appreciate. Great art on. I mean, here's the thing: is that Marvel is that at least Marvel they can draw from actual comic book art. It's not like Avatar where we got shitty, blurry Nickelodeon screenshots. I mean, look at this Namor, Lord of Atlantis. Even though I normally hate this frame treatment here because the card is so black, the black border on the white actually works. Yeah, that's the worst thing about this frame treatment is it works when you have the right thing behind it. Like this on like lighter looking cards looks terrible. Here I go, shit, that's a cool Lord of Atlantis. I want a play set of that guy for my Merfolk deck. This frame kind of works with all the old like black ink, comic book art.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Like here it doesn't work as well because it stands out against this red. But when it's like here, when you have the thick blacks, that's not a perfect example, but like here, okay, Extinction Effect is great. Like this looks like it's bleeding into the background. It actually works perfectly.
Yeah, so, that Dig Through Time looks dope. I don't care, man. I love that.
Where's the Dig Through Time?
Right there, the Kang down there.
That works though. Again, it's a very like dark, This frame treatment works better on darker artwork. On lighter artwork, it looks kind of terrible, I think. I think the Dig Through Time looks nice.
I think the problem with Avatar, the Avatar cards, just the art style in those, it didn't have enough depth. It just kind of blended in with the text.
Yeah,
as far as the depth goes.
Like absolutely terrible. Man, I wish I had a picture of it. Remember the Cruel Tutor? The Cruel Tutor from Avatar? It was
guy's face. The guy's mustache. The text was his mustache.
Oh man, I had one recently and I said, somebody took, do you know the classic picture of I know I've retweeted it recently. Do you know the David Cross where he's just kind of like staring at the camera? So somebody made a bunch of proxies of David Cross Cruel Tutors, and I went, "Oh, that works pretty good. I'm pretty okay with that." I think this ephemerate is going to look great. See, like, and again, cards that have these blown out white spots when you foil them out, that's going to look fucking incredible.
Yeah, the Dig Through Time with Kang, his hand has a bit of a blown out white spot in it too. I think these are going to look cool.
So good in foil. So, I'm all about collecting pretty cards. There's some of these Lord of Atlantis, the Ephemerate, the Dig Through Time. I think even Extinction Event will be cool. Not so much on the Heroic Interventions. Again, I think this just it looks. Also, I don't understand why can't they just push the text to the bottom on these and not be blocking off part of the artwork? I've always thought that was kind of weird.
I'll probably get the Heroic Intervention with the Hulk holding up the mountain like that.
Of all these, I think that one's the coolest. Well, the layout for that one is very cool because it's the full width of the card. That's pretty badass. Yeah. I mean, look, there's stuff to like here. I'm
getting that World War Hulk. That looks cool.
These classic comic covers look great, I think. The Submariner, the Captain America. And thankfully, this time around, one of the problems you had with the Spider-Man ones is this was not the front of the card. They had the comic was like the cool part of the card, but the front of the card was just nerdy fucking Peter Parker.
That's what the Bruce Banner is, right? If you flip the Bruce Banner, you get his comic book on the back.
So when you get them PSA graded, I wish you could tell if you get your card graded, you go, can you put the cool Venom cover on the front and not fucking the shitty whatever? Please. Like these are cool. I think this is badass. I want to play a set of these Namors. So look, I'm willing to give Marvel its due. I think it fits better than TMNT. It's not a perfect fit, but I don't know, man. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with
the release schedule of this set. I think with Spider-Man, it was going to be a smaller set, and they like bumped it up last minute.
Yeah. And then they ended up filling it with a bunch of trash.
Yeah. So I think they put more time into this. I think this is going to turn out to be a success. If it's not, I don't know.
The one thing I'm saying, though, is I want to see, and again, I mentioned this in the last one, is like you got Captain America at Mythic. They might have a Captain America at Uncommon. If they got one at Common, that's stupid. I mean, you got so many cool little Marvel characters that I'd like to see make an appearance. I want your Squirrel Girls. You want your
We're probably getting a Squirrel Girl, right?
Yeah, we'll probably get a Squirrel Girl.
Eventually we'll get Howard the Duck, we'll get stuff like that.
Yeah, give us some Howard the Duck. I want all them. Have we seen they're not really doing a Guardians of the Galaxy, it seems like.
Not in this one, because I imagine they're going to do a whole cosmic set of its own.
I think they are definitely saving Guardians of the Galaxy for a future set. That's where we'll get the Space Stone. Isn't that one of the stones?
Yeah, probably Space Stone.
Is that what it's called? Is it called the Space Stone?
They do have a Space Stone. They have a Time Stone. They have a Reality Stone. And then Power Stone. Those are the four we don't have yet.
So I guess they're spacing the characters out. We'll see how it goes. But
yeah.
They didn't show too much of the show, but what they showed, I went, yeah, hey, they showed the stone. I like the stone. I want the stone. I will be opening the set to get the stone. Oh, we got all the, they have previewed all the Fantastic. And the art looks good, I got to say.
Yeah.
They got, who is this? Valernos Belays. I love these classic comic covers. I don't know, not too much else to say there.
I'm on board.
I'm on board for the Marvel. Well, we've covered almost everything, Billy, but I have one more thing that we have to talk about. Now, this is the most exciting, the biggest news to come out of Magic the Gathering. I mean, when they announced this, I don't know, were you screaming? Because I was screaming. It's Mark Rosewater's Mood Swings. Now,
yes!
Billy, I went to MagicCon and they had sign up for a Secret Lair special event. And I said, oh my God. And it was $75. They said a Secret Lair special event with Mark Rosewater. And I said, oh my God, it's going to be some exciting new game. I'm going to get some crazy promo cards. And then Mark Rosewater came out.
I'm Mark Rosewater.
He said, here's what he said. Oh, it's not showing it.
Mark Rosewater.
What the hell did I do? Hold on, I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. Mark Rosewater said to me, hey, I've been making this grandpa game because I'm the head of Wizards of the Coast and I can do whatever I want. I said, oh no, I paid $75 for Mark Rosewater's mood swings. You want to know the best thing that happened for my convention? Was getting an email saying the Mood Swings event is canceled. Here is your $75 back. And I went, oh, thank God. Oh, thank God.
I guess the product didn't ship in time, right?
Yeah, what happened was they were supposed to have a copy for everybody to hand out at the event, but it didn't show up. So they said, here's the best thing. Here's your $75 back, and we're going to mail you a copy of the game. And if you swing by the room, we'll give you a playmat and 3 mystery boosters. And I said, I can deal with that. I can deal with that. Now, I didn't stick around to watch the game get played. I was like, maybe I should have. I could have got Mark Rosewater's signature on the playmat, but it was the last day and I was already tired. I was like, I don't know. This is barely worth talking about. Look, I watched Mark Rosewater. He made a video about how to play it. It's interesting because it does have Magic artwork on it, but it doesn't really have anything to do with Magic. Did you watch this at all?
I didn't watch it. I saw like a couple gameplay videos. They used the Magic art that was like the test art, right? The art that they give you before they finish it. So this is like the early sketch work of actual pieces. They used the sketch art for this.
So I don't know if this version of the game they're putting out, if this is the final game or if he did like a test run of it. Again, it's going to come to Secret Lair. It's going to be something you can buy. And just to break it down real quick, it's a quick card game where you're just trying to get more points than the other person. At the end of each round, whoever has the most points gets a token. And if you get 3 tokens, you win the game. I'll say this, it's cute. You know, it's like, hey, when you play this card, bounce one of their cards. When you play this card, it gets +2 points for each other 2-cost card. It kind of feels to me like they just threw Magic artwork on top of it because they said maybe this will help sell a couple fucking copies, because otherwise it's got nothing to do with Magic.
It's a very quick game, right? Like it plays out very quickly. I don't know how much strategy is involved in it. Obviously, I haven't played it. I don't know how deep it plays.
When I watched the game of them playing it, it seemed to have that problem that some of these card games have where I went, doesn't seem like a lot of strategy. It seems like whatever your best play is just obvious at any point. So you just play. It's kind of whoever gets the best card. And, oh, I have the thing that turns off your things that's giving all your cards +2. So I win this round. And I'm like, okay, well, they can't like react to that or, you know, stop it. Yeah. I don't know.
It says edition 1 on the bottom. Like this reminds me of something that you might pick up in the Scholastic Book Club as a kid, you know?
Yeah, it really
you get this for like not $10 and the fifth, get the 5th edition of Mood Swings. And the kid's like, yeah, I'll play this game. Get this and then get me the copy of Prince of Azkaban Returns or whatever the fuck the books are that the kids read these days.
Man, I loved the Scholastic Book Fair, by the way. People have been reminiscing about the Scholastic Book Fair, and I went, dude, I used to tear up the book fair. They had good shit.
They would give you that little pamphlet and you would order off the pamphlet and you're like, if your parents had some money, it was you gonna get a book or two.
Yeah, that was the one thing was like I remember from the book fair, I would get like a stack. I was like, yeah, my parents got some money, and then one would be like, yeah, my parents didn't give me any money for the book fair. I was walking out of there, you know what I was getting because I had good taste. I don't know why I was looking up this recently. I was getting Diadem. Nobody remembers this book series other than me. As a kid, I remember I had this book with this chick holding this sword. I remember thinking, this is the coolest thing I will ever own. I think this is why I play Magic now, is specifically because of this fantasy girl with this chick on my young adult novel going on an adventure. Here's what
I was finding the games there. Like they would have the brain.
They would have little brain
quizzers, brain teasers. I'd always get stuff like that. I was like, I need to do some thinking.
And it's so weird remembering that I used to read books
Yeah, right.
Do you remember reading books, Billy? Do you remember being like sitting down with a book?
I've tried to do that, and I start to read, and I fall asleep. It's
I think I brought a book on a plane like a year ago, and I was like, yeah, I remember doing this. It's not the worst. It's just like, I don't know. Now I'm at the point where I can go online and I can like make shit with AI, or I can like fucking, and I'm like, this is way more interesting than reading books.
I actually should start reading again. I just realized I have sleeping problems. I just start reading again.
Man, read a chapter before before bed.
For real.
Anyway, so this was Mark Rosewater's Mood Swings, aka the game that got me 3 mystery boosters. So thank you for that, Mark Rosewater. I don't know, man. It kind of, to me, this feels like Wizards of the Coast, and they're like, all right, Mark, do whatever you want, man. You've done good work. If you want to make your little card game, that's fine.
Well, I mean, he's been working on it for 28 years.
How did it take 28 years to come up with this? You come up with it in an afternoon.
I think it took him 28 years to sell them on an idea to release it, right? Because now they're at this huge boom. Everything's making money. They have this platform secret lair that he can just basically, like, how do you lose here? How do you lose? People buy it on secret lair. If it doesn't sell, it doesn't sell. Then you forget about it. But you don't have to put it on shelves. You don't have to do anything that you do with other games. So he's just like, there's like very little risk. It's almost all money here.
Here's what I'm gonna say about this is come up anytime you got to play a card, but the card's not called a card. I think you've already done something wrong. So he's going, I'm going to play one of my moods, and then I'm going to bounce one of his moods. And I'm like, just say you're going to play one of your cards and bounce one of his cards. All right.
It's not the branding. That's not the branding.
I don't like I think the second you're calling your game Mood Swings, go, why don't we just call it like Fireball Champion and all the fucking cards, anything that is exciting. And I don't know. When I tell you I want to play Mood Swings, again, it sounds like I'm at like a fucking fondue party in the 70s and I'm pulling out a old dusty party game so we can play fucking Parcheesi or Scattergories or whatever the fuck, you know?
It's probably they're using this as a gateway to get the kids that have anger management issues.
Yeah.
Sit down, make them play Mood Swings together,
and then kids.
The Hexhaven kids. They gotta sit down and play Mood Swings. They're like, okay, the good ones, they go on to play Magic. The other ones, they just take the cards and rip them in half and spit them out through spitballs or whatever the kids do these days.
All the cards are cheer, kindness. What's the difference between kindness and meekness? I play my mood, self-loathing, anger,
rage.
Yeah,
this is anger. This card's for the kids in anger management to play, right? Like,
we're gonna play Mood Swings. We're gonna this is a game for your therapist to play with you.
This is
now. When I show you the card Charity, how does that make you feel? I want to play Rage. Well, you already played Rage. You can't play Rage again, Billy. I only want to play Rage. I
got a handful of Rage and a brain full of Rage. I'm raging. This is definitely like marketed towards a different group. It's just for kids, dude.
Is I go, you think it's for kids? I don't know who it's for. I feel like
it's literally for kids in therapy. It's literally for kids. It's a distraction for kids in therapy.
That's a bit goofy. The point is, guys, Dan Frazier did nothing wrong. There he is, me and him. Yeah. This is AI, for those of you who can't figure it out. I had a good time. Look, I had a good time at MagicCon. I want to thank everybody I met out there. I met a lot of fun guys. I met a lot of Whatnot guys, Carsey, Wallet Fatigue, Value Town, Perp. And I talked to a lot of people who hopefully will have some guests coming on the show, talk to some of the artists, see if they would come on, talk about doing art for Magic. A lot of those guys have weird NDAs and weird stories they're not allowed to tell,
right?
Which they were telling at the show. And I went, oh, my God, that's a lot of angry calls from Wizards being like, what are you doing? We're going to fire you. We're never going to work with you again. I don't know what stories they're allowed to tell on here, but hopefully we'll have some cool guests coming down the line. Guys, Billy's going to plug where you can donate money to help him get a real card. Billy, where do we find you, buddy?
At Billy the Fridge on Twitter, Instagram, and You know, all those good places.
GoFundMe.com/Billy's.
Vito's gonna start a GoFundMe for my Soulstone now.
I think we might have to.
You don't realize how much joy I felt when I got this.
Stop telling me.
I was so happy, Vito. I was so happy.
Oh my God.
And then
I'm sitting here with all this fancy new cardboard, and you're going, "Yeah, I lost $900 to a scammer."
But I mean, come on. It's 2026. Being able to lose money is not the worst thing in the world. They're going to take it from us at the gas tank or the grocery store anyways, right?
Yeah. I will say, this feels like your cue to just go fuck it, double down, and just buy a real one, man. I think now's the time to just go, you know what? In for a penny, in for a pound.
If they didn't suspend my Venmo account. Right now, I'm like, well, let's check out and see what I can do.
If I had one to trade you, I'd try. No, I'd probably keep it. I'm sorry.
Right? You should keep
it. I kind of want one, but I still don't have one.
This is what happens when you don't sacrifice a loved one to get the Soulstone.
Yeah, you didn't kill somebody. You should have killed somebody. Then you would have got a real one.
I might.
Guys, follow Billy, youtube.com/Billy the Fridge. You're on Twitter as well. Follow me at Vito Comedy on Twitter, youtube.com/Vito. And of course, come by whatnot.com/invite/Vito. Get $15 to spend on magic cards. I'm going live. I've been a little too busy to stream recently, but I should be. I got a bunch of Strixhaven boxes, so we'll be cracking packs, having fun. Again, whatnot.com/invite/Vito. This has been Rhystic Study Hall, a magic podcast for the rest of us. And as always, keep playing magic. $900, huh? Go call the cops.